Welcome to the post-game show. 20 post-game show, bro. How do you feel tonight? I know, hey, you feel like I felt last week, huh?
Man, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off of my shoulders, man. Listen, I was like, man, at halftime, man, I didn't think we was gonna be able to pull it out. I really didn't. Honestly, I did not. Uh, when they went up, when they went up 27-13, I had a little hope when we closed it to 20-13. But when they went up 27-13 with 5 minutes left, I said to myself, man, because we ain't been able, number one, we ain't been able to stop their offense all night. And so they went up by 2 touchdowns with 5 minutes left. I was like, man, this game is over with.
Yeah.
I was like, this game is over with.
I'm tell you something. When they weren't doing that in the first half, I said, shoot, let me try some. Let me turn to something else. And let's see what happened. I'm like, man, they were really disappointing me, man. They were really disappointing me. I'm like, God, dog. But we knew Georgia Tech was gonna be a tough out. We knew that. And everybody, and I guess some people thinking, oh, Georgia should have steamrolled Georgia Tech. Now when you got an offensive coordinator that was with Georgia Tech, what, last year before Mike Bowl got there? Who knows cover smart defense?
Buster Faulkner is a protege of Todd Monken. Todd Monken taught him. Salute to you together. Hold on. Let me give you a background of Buster Faulkner. Buster Faulkner was taught by the best, Todd Monken. Buster Faulkner had coached under Kirby for maybe 3 or 4 years. So he knows our defense very, very well. So all of these clowns that's out here podcasting and talking about, oh, Georgia's weak or the SEC is weak. No, you got to remember, this ain't the same Georgia Tech team from 3 years ago that went 1-11. This Georgia Tech team, this is the same Georgia Tech team that is 7-4. This Georgia Tech team beat Miami and undefeated Miami.
And don't forget,
you got to remember that.
And they beat Florida State at the beginning of the year. That was right.
Yeah, they beat. Yeah. So, and that was when Florida State was at full strength before they got hit with all those injuries. So, you got to listen. Championships are won in games like that because your offense is not gonna be clicking on all cylinders every game. Your defense is not going to be able to pitch a shutout every game. So a team with the heart of a champion sometimes has to win games like that. I'm proud of my dogs. I'm so proud of my dogs. Could they have played better? Yes. The drop passes, they got to do something about that. The drop passes, regardless of what happens the rest of this season, Kirby needs to bring in a real legitimate receivers coach. Somebody that can come in and work with these receivers and develop them properly. Yeah. Because James Coley is not it. James Coley is not doing a good job with these receivers. Now, I don't give a damn how far they go back or how good of friends they are. But James Coley is not the guy for that job. Kirby needs to go out and get a real coordinator, a receivers coach that knows how to develop talent.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this right here. The offensive coordinator, he was protege Todd Monken. I'm gonna tell you what he did. I'm gonna tell you what he did though. He took some of Todd Monken's offense and merged it with some of his offensive plays and combined them as you will see, they were deadly. There was some deadly plays. Look, that man had what? Hines King had what? Almost 100-yard rushing, 200-yard passing the first half.
And the thing about it, though, at the end of the day, when you get into shootouts like that, gimmick plays are not going to work. Mike Bobo playbook was deeper than Faulkner's.
Yeah.
And that's how Georgia won that game. Because when it came down, and I said to myself, if we could just get past the first 2 overtimes and get them in a 2-point conversion situation, we can win this game. But now, had it been under the old overtime rules, we probably would have lost that game. We probably would have lost that game if it would have been under the old overtime rules.
I told you this on the back end, right? Y'all would never been in overtime.
Yeah.
I would tell y'all, Georgia fan, why I said that. I would tell y'all, Georgia fan, why I said that. For y'all to come at my head, although I'm an Auburn fan, I'm gonna tell you why I said that. You down by 17, right? You score a touchdown. You down by 11. And you still got a second half to go. Why take a chance of going for the 2 conversion? And you still gonna be down by 9 points. You still gonna need 2 scores to take the lead. Did that make any sense?
No, I didn't understand it. See, when we scored that touchdown, man, because I'm telling you, when we were driving, I was holding it. I didn't want to go to the bathroom because I didn't want to miss nothing. So I was holding it, you know what I'm saying? I was holding it. And then when we scored a touchdown, I was like, okay, I'm going to really use the rest of them. Because I already know I know Woodring, he ain't going to miss no extra point. I come back and we only got 6 points. I'm saying, what the hell going on? And I start, hearing the commentators talking about, why would Georgia go for the 2-point conversion this early?
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. That Georgia Tech kicker, he's not a slouch himself. When that ball hit the left upright, boy, that
cost them
right now.
That cost them. That came back to hunt them.
Yeah, it came back to hunt him.
When when he missed that came back to hunt him. That came back to hunt Georgia Tech. Because had he hit that field goal, that would have been the 3 points. They would have won the game.
Yeah. And I look like this right here. I know I bad, and I know I'll say stuff about Georgia and Carson Beck. I gotta give him his props tonight. He showed me something that I've been waiting to see. And I've been saying, I'm waiting to see, do he have the heart? Can he do it? Can he run? What did I tell you at halftime? I said, Carson Beck need to run the ball. Did I say that? At halftime. And he finally did something that we've been waiting for him to do. Use his leg, because who on that defense, who plays Georgia, think Carson Beck going to run the ball? Nobody. Nobody think Carson Beck going to run the ball. That caught Georgia Tech by surprise. On that 3rd and 10, and that what, first overtime? He took off on the left side. And I'm surprised he dove for that first down. He wasn't going out of bounds. And I got to give props to him. Got to give props to him.
Got to give props.
I understand.
Got to give props. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Got to give props to that O-line too. That O-line, that O-line came out there in that second half and they turned it up a notch. They just turned it down. Because Carson Beck didn't get touched at all in that second half. He just sitting back there doing what he wanted to do in that second half.
Hey, you know what? And I got to give Kirby Smart some credit in the overtime. wait to Georgia Tech, go out there and see what they formation is, what they're gonna run, and call a timeout. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
worked. Hey, I think it was one of the commentators said, why didn't Georgia Tech just send some old liners out there to just go line up in the old formation, make use of timeout? They come and line up in another formation, the real formation where they want to line up in. That's what I would have did.
Yeah, they would have been the thing. Salute to you, 225 girl. See, the thing about it is, that's the difference between a coach that ain't never been there and a coach that's been there. That's why I'm saying this morning on the kickoff show.
Mm-hmm.
As we get into the playoffs, the coaches that have been there, they have coached under the bright lights in games like we saw tonight.
Mm-hmm.
When it come down to making crucial decisions,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell which coach has been there and which coach hadn't been there. Brick Keys was nutting up. He was nutting up in overtime. He was panicking.
Yeah.
On the sideline with Kirby, was just cool and calm. Hands in the pocket, cool and calm,
yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, 225 girl. I'm telling you. I almost had to go get some headache medicine. My sister almost went and had to get some.
Ain't gonna lie, bro. I had to take me some 8-1s. In that 6 overtime, I had to take me some 8-1s, man.
Hey, ain't no telling what Georgia fan, how many, I wonder how many Georgia fans out there had to go get 2 bottles of liquor and drink it because of this game. I wonder how many going to have a hangover in the morning. But let's talk about, did Travis Hunter actually lock down the Heisman today?
Whew. I had originally said yes, he locked it down, but then I looked at Ashton Gentry's stats. That kid had like 200 yards.
226.
226. He's rushed for well over 2,000 yards this season.
And he only got 2 more touchdowns to rush for 2,000 yards and 30 touchdown in the season. The only other running back to do that was Barry Sanders.
The Heisman race is going to be close because Ashton has another game. He's playing in the conference championship game next week, where Travis Hunter may have played his last game today.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. We got to wait on what happened to Kansas State and Iowa State. We got to wait for the Arizona State game, BYU and Houston. In order for Colorado to go to Dallas and play in the Big 12 championship game, they need 2 of those teams to lose.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this
but
right
shout
here.
out to Colorado, man. They beat the brakes off Oklahoma State 52-0. Oklahoma State, man, it's time, man. They got to go ahead and part ways with Mike Gundy, man. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous because he came into the season with a very talented team. A lot of analysts had them favorite,
in the Big 12.
had them pick favorite to win the Big 12. No Oklahoma, no Texas in the Big 12. You got it all to yourself.
And no SMU in the Big 12.
No SMU in the Big 12. And yeah, you had a couple of Pac-12 teams come in there, but you had the bottom feeding of the Pac-12. Look, it ain't like you had Oregon and Washington and USC, and y'all had the Arizona teams. Both Arizona State finished last in the Pac-12 last year, and they were picked to finish last in the Big 12 this year. You had Arizona State, and you had Utah, Utah was okay. The Utah been doing pretty good. and Colorado. Colorado had a losing record last year. So Oklahoma State came into the season as the more experienced team. They had the highest retention rate out of all the other schools in the Big 12.
Yep,
And you
sure
lay
did.
an egg, you go 0-8, 0-8, 0-8 or 0-9. I'm sorry, 0-8 in the damn conference.
And that conference is not as good as the SEC. We understand why Mississippi State went 0-8. We understand that. But it just, I've been saying they need to get rid of Mike Gundy.
Mississippi State would probably win the Big 12.
Yeah. And I looked at all them games from last weekend at 7:30. Tonight's game, that's 12 overtime, bro. That's 12 overtime between two games. Hey, I wonder what this game gonna top Auburn and Texas A&M. It topped it. Can Texas and Texas A&M top Auburn, Texas A&M, and Georgia Tech? Can that game top them two games tomorrow night?
I think the Iron Bowl. My prediction is the Iron Bowl is going to be something similar to what we've seen tonight. It's going to be an overtime. I think the game will go in overtime. I ain't saying it'll be 7-8 or whatever, but Auburn and Bama are so evenly matched. And Auburn is going to come in on fire like Georgia Tech came into Sanford Stadium tonight. And it's going to be a game.
It's going to be a game.
But I think the outcome is going to be different. I think Auburn is going to put Bama down.
And I'm telling you, Hugh Freeze already said he's looking for Jalen Monroe to play his best. So you already know what the game plan is. You know what I'm saying? Stop Monroe. His game plan is to stop Monroe.
Well, he plays his best games at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the best game at home. That Missouri game, he was on fire.
Yeah, but he does when it comes to back-to-back games like that, he do kind of make mistakes too. You see what I'm saying? But Missouri just could take advantage of his mistakes. So, hey, but the night game, if you didn't have no heart medication, if you didn't have no liquor sitting beside you, if you didn't have no bud that's beside you, you might need to go to the emergency room.
Man, look, bro. It's like this, man. I thought that Ohio State game puts a wear and tear on my heart, man. This game right here, and we needed this game. We needed this game bad. We needed this game. Because the thing about it is, man, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket in the SEC championship game because anything can happen in a conference championship game. You never know. And A&M, Texas, either one. I'm confident that I'm confident that my Georgia Bulldogs can beat both of them. See, a lot of people gonna look at tonight and say, "Oh, Georgia vulnerable, Georgia right." You listen. We were playing against a man that knew our system in and inside and out. This man knew all of our defensive plays. He knew all of our offensive plays. He knew our playbook on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and plus,
that was a tough situation to go into. That is why I was telling you on the back end why I was so nervous the entire week about this game.
Yeah, I look, man. You talked about this. We talked about this, and I also said, we also said this is not the same Georgia Tech team we're old. After they beat Florida State, then when they go down to Miami and beat Miami, you know, you already know there was something different about this.
And they dominated that game. against Miami. They led that game the entire game.
But I'm going ahead and say this. I take my hats off to Georgia Tech. Heisman King and the crew, they played but you know what? I hated somebody had to lose this game. I hated somebody had to lose, but somebody had to lose this ball game. And it turns out to be them. I hated somebody had to lose this game.
This is one of those times. This is one of them times when you wish that the tie system was still around. That two teams just play to a tie. And I think they need to, instead of having, them college kids out there going 8, 9, 10 overtimes, they need to come up with a limit like the NFL did. They need to come up with a limit for the overtime. I say after the 6th overtime, just declare the game a tie, in my opinion. Because there's nothing wrong with a tie. Sometimes, both it's just a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, and that what it turned out to be, a Mexican standoff, and both quarterback played their butt off. Both line played their butt off. Both defense in that overtime played their butt off. And what can you say? And for all the people say, oh, Georgia, like you said, people gonna say, oh, Georgia got a weakness. Yes.
Every team in that top 12 has had a game like what we had tonight. Salute to you, Brooklyn. Every game, every team in that top 12 has had a game like this. Oregon and Idaho, Ohio State and Nebraska. How soon do we forget a lucky goal line stand that Ohio State had against Nebraska? Indiana had a close call with Michigan. Penn State just had a close call last week with Minnesota.
Yeah. And I said that to say this right here. Sometimes it's not the good to blow out every team you play, right? It's not good. Sometimes it's best to play a close game. Because in a close game, you see where a player's heart's at. Especially when you get in a close game, especially in a playoff, it's a close game. Your team is not going to panic because y'all been there before. If you blow out every team you play, and all of a sudden you get to a team and it's a close ball game, your team ain't gonna know what to do in a close ball game because they so used to blowing people out. So in that scenario, it was good for Georgia to have a close game, and especially with a rivalry with Georgia Tech. So that is a measuring stick right there. Okay, now they can sit back and concentrate on who they're going to play next weekend. Now they can sit back and relax. They got to worry about, we have to win this ball game to get in the playoffs. They can sit back and say, hey, we can relax. Even if we lose, we're still in the playoffs.
225 girl, look, those people, some of those people in that chat over there, they were complaining that year we went undefeated. That year we went 15-0. Those people were still complaining.
Yeah. See, performance, I'm going to tell you about performance. That's good performance, that's bad performance, that's so-so performance, that fair performance in football and in the sports. It's how you end up at the end of that game. We all know, everybody in this chat and all them people over the Dog Nation know, Georgia do not start off fast. We know that, don't we? We know Georgia don't start off fast. When had Georgia started off the season in the first half fast? Yes.
The one game that in the time we did start off fast, that's the game we lost against Ole Miss. We started off fast.
Yeah. And how many times have you seen Georgia been shut out in the first half? Not hardly. Not hardly.
Yeah, that ain't happened since 2019.
Yeah. And the performance, I'm going to gonna get my grade on Georgia performance. I'm gonna get my grade on Georgia Tech performance. I'm gonna get both of my A. I'm gonna get both of my A. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. It's some things Georgia did. I said this on a pregame show that what Georgia had to do on defense. I said they had to stay in their lane. What happened when they didn't stay in their lane? Georgia Tech
got
gassed
loose.
them. Got loose. But what happened in that second half and that overtime? They stayed in their lane. What happened?
We were able to get to him.
There you go. And I don't. People like D. Trubby just talking his smack, just talking. He don't know what he's talking about. Oh, I just don't want I don't want football just to watch it. I just don't analyze stuff and see stuff that people don't see, and we call it like we call it. But don't mean I gave Georgia Tech an A. They did a hell of a thing to go into Sanford Stadium and play with their minds out. Hey, both Georgia and Georgia Tech, they need this day off tomorrow. They need this day off. Some of them boys gonna need some ice bath tomorrow.
Exactly, 225 girl. Exactly 225 girl. It's a rivalry, and like I said, every team that's in the top 12 has played a game like that. But you know what though? Notre Dame had played a game like what we played tonight. And you know what happened with Notre Dame? They lost theirs at home to Northern Illinois. See, there's always gonna come a time when you're in the middle of a championship run. There's gonna come a time where that one team is gonna test you and push you to the limit. We were pushed to the limit tonight, and we rose up to the challenge.
Yep. And like they say, it was a rivalry game. I don't care that team come in 0-11. And the other team come in 11-0. That 0-11 team might get that win against their rivalry of the last game. You see what I'm saying? So it don't. You can throw records out the window when it comes to rivalry game, because records do not matter during rivalry game. Let's take Ole Miss and Mississippi State. If it were for play here or play there, Ole Miss would have lost that game.
Absolutely.
So, hey, bro. Yeah, hey, bro. I know 225 girl said she had to get she had a headache for the game. And
man, you know how your adrenaline, you have that adrenaline rush, and then when it's over, you hyped up a little bit, then you just get relaxed, and then that sleep fall on you, especially when it's late. That's how I am right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and get my final thoughts, and then I'm gonna get ready late on that because I get ready to get up early in the morning. But I want to thank all of you for coming out to the post game show. To me, my bro D True, we just wanted to come on here and just do a little something for you all and discuss the game, that epic comeback win for the Georgia Bulldogs. The Georgia Bulldogs have officially clinched a playoff. Right now, they've clinched as an at-large, but the goal is to go in as SEC champions and to get that bye, because we need it. We need it. I really don't like the idea of got a little taste of it tonight. Playing in 30-degree weather ain't fun. Can you imagine what it's gonna be like up in Indiana or Penn State or Notre Dame in late December? It's gonna be in the single digits. So my dogs, it's time to go to work, hit the whirlpool, and get right, heal up, and rest up, and let's get ready for Atlanta, whoever it may be, Texas or Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And on that note, You all, like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other, and for always, no matter what. I'm proud of my dogs. Go dogs! Sick 'em. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, and before you go, I want to know, Rick Lewis said, man, you both could be two awesome football coaches.
Hey, man, hey. If I get the call, I'll definitely try my hand at that.
I will too. But like I said, 225 girl, I want to know who. I see you in the morning. I see you on the morning show, 225 girl, because I already know who you pulling for, Tweet Alabama Dogs. So I ain't gonna ask that question. Yeah, but like we always said, love, respect yourself, cause you love, respect yourself. You see through all the BS. Knowing myself, the truth, peace, love, and thank you for showing up. We out.